Welcome back to the breakdown. Today we're going to be taking a look at stores that plan to close locations in 2022. Now 2022 is almost here. 2021 was full of stores closing, other ones opening, things changing. So what's going to be changing in 2022? We're going to take a look at that in the world of retail and try to explain why some stores are closing when others seem to be doing well and opening up. Because it's a very complicated issue. No two stores are having the same kind of situation, but there's some underlying kind of similar issues that they're all going through. And we're going to try to break that all down here on the breakdown. First though, if you're new here, help us out. Help us grow this new channel. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. And hopefully we can help you learn something new, whether it be through videos like this or through reviews. We have hundreds of videos now. Appreciate your support. Check out our back catalog and let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. All right. A lot has been made of stores moving to online sales. One of the biggest ones that is trying to push this right now is CVS. CVS is closing 900 stores over the next few years, with a lot of them coming in 2020. That's a lot of stores. I know CVS has a lot of stores remaining, and they have a ton of stores everywhere. But to close 900 is no small matter. And a lot of these are going to be closed in areas where there's other stores. What CVS is kind of pushing is an idea that a lot of people are no longer just going into a CVS to grab a couple things. For prescriptions, they're going to heavily push delivery options. Instead of having 5 stores in town, maybe they have 3 stores in a town, for example, and they cover the market with delivery. Delivery prescriptions is becoming a major market. Though I still have issues with it because there's a lot of times when, hey, you go to the doctor, you're sick, the doctor gives you a prescription, you don't want to wait even for the same day, you just kind of want to go to the store, pick up your prescription and go home. You know, whether it be an injury or whatever. I remember after my surgery, after I left, because it was very powerful prescriptions that you have to sign for, they won't give you the prescription before the surgery for the painkillers. You have to get it after. Before I even went home, we stopped at the drive-thru. I picked up my prescription. We went home. So definitely there's a lot there to deal with, a lot of issues here. And I don't think they're trying to abandon markets. This is definitely about the fact that CVS considers themselves overstretched with too many stores in similar markets. Overstretched may be a bad word, maybe oversaturated. And CVS is really hoping to kind of draw that down by focusing heavily on online sales, which is something they've had but never really dived into, and delivery. It'll be interesting. With everybody trying to do online sales, it kind of ends up in a situation where no one's doing online sales because you're spreading yourself kind of thin. It'll be interesting to see how that all plays out. All right, let's keep moving because Macys is closing down a lot of stores. Now, exactly how many is up in flux. At one point, there was like 100 stores they were going to close. Now they're talking about closing less stores. So exactly how many they're going to close is up in the air. They definitely intend to close quite a few in the next 2022. And they've already closed many in the last few years and probably some after. Now, one of the things I thought Macys was interesting about is they kind of talked about, hey, we're finally getting into online marketplaces, right? Where Macys talked in the past about how them not doing that. Now they're going to focus more heavily into online marketplaces. And this comes as malls are really changing how they're structured. As the low-end sales and mid-range sales move almost exclusively to online and to big box stores, malls are really going to start focusing on high-end sales. And at least that's what a lot of mall owners are talking about. Will it work out that way? We'll have to wait and see. But mall owners have really clearly said that they intend to focus on the high end. You think Macys would be well positioned in that. The problem is a lot of even higher end brands have moved into malls, sucking up spaces from lower end stores have closed like Yonkers, JCPenney's, and more. As those mid-range and low-end stores struggle with the fact that many people are going to Target and Walmart and other places to buy groceries and their clothes and their other little items that they would have typically gone to a Yonkers or a JCPenney's for in the past, plus Sears. Now with Sears being pushed out by Lowe's, Home Depot, Walmart, Meijer, Target, and more, Macys doesn't want to end up in that same position. And they got kind of an interesting, they're kind of a hybrid between a mid-range and a high-range store. But I think in the last few years, they've definitely kind of focused more on the mid-range. Now with mall owners wanting to push stores into higher end areas, they're kind of in trouble. And I think that's why Macys is going to close stores, try to retool the inside stores maybe to target a different audience, and take the old audience and try to push them online. As more and more people become comfortable with buying clothes online, with the idea that, hey, easy returns and kind of stuff that Walmart and other places have pushed. Be very interesting to see how that tactic pays off. It'll be interesting to see if malls as a whole are successful in moving away from the low and the mid-range customers to the high-end customers. The idea of a bunch of teenagers walking around the mall just to hang out, buy a few things here and there at a low-end store, kind of going away. Well, I think many malls still have that. Definitely doesn't seem to be where malls want to be in 10 years from now. We'll see if they can pull that off. All right. Grocery stores are really being hit hard, which seems weird because in a pandemic world where grocery stores shopping has been really big, they're actually, a lot of the smaller ones are struggling. Even bigger ones than you would think are struggling because of the growth of online grocery ordering. I know increasingly I'm doing more and more of that as we target the fact that we go online to get our stuff more than we do to go in the stores more often than not with our Walmart Plus subscription. Maybe it's an Instacart subscription and more. And this has forced many grocery stores to close up shops, including Save-A-Lot, Piggly Wiggly, Stop and Shop, and Hy-Vee all announced plans to close multiple locations. Some temporarily due to supply issues, some permanently as people are going into stores less. It used to be you would have your big box stores where a lot of people would do the majority of their shopping, and then a smaller Hy-Vee, Piggly Wiggly, Stop and Shop, and whatever, people would run in and get a few things. With the growth of delivery, the running in to get a few things because it's conveniently located next to your house is falling by the wayside as more and more people are moving to get their Walmart same-day delivery or next-day delivery or whatever it may be for groceries. It's super convenient and it removes the need to run inside. Because of that, struggling stores who've always had issues on pricing. When you go to a smaller grocery store, it's hard to compete on pricing compared to the big stores. But they sold on convenience. Well, that convenience factor is starting to go away as more and more people are taking the convenience of Amazon's grocery delivery services, Walmart, Target, and more. And then you add in high-end grocery stores are also squeezing them, like Whole Foods, which is definitely targeting a market that didn't want to shop at a Walmart and more, pulling them into a Whole Foods or other store as opposed to going into a Piggly Wiggly, a Stop and Shop, or a Save-A-Lot, for example. Definitely brings in a lot of competition. It'll be interesting to see how grocery stores do. I don't think they're going away in favor of all big boxes, but they're definitely going to be struggling in the next few years. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out. One of the more surprising and not surprising and mysterious closing stores is going to be Barnes & Noble. Barnes & Noble has announced several store closings, but they're not doing a big, massive announcement to say, hey, we're going to close X amount of stores. They're just like, hey, this store here's closing, this store here's closing. You're getting a lot of little individual announcements related to that, which probably is not a big surprise. Paper book sales have long moved online. Digital book sales are continuing to grow in popularity as more and more people enjoy that. The big problem we're running into is a lot of people no longer even think about Barnes & Noble. It's all Amazon, Walmart, and other places. You know, Walmart and other stores have actually increased the number of books that they carry, larger book sections, to kind of replace the Barnes & Nobles of the world for just the everyday, hey, I'm just going to walk in and grab a magazine, or I'm going to walk in and grab some odds and ends, or a random thing just to read for a flight. And then you got Amazon and other stores doing Kindle books, ebooks, and you have physical ones you can buy there, which the selection Barnes & Nobles just could never compete with. And I would say also a very late move into online book sales. I know they've been doing it for a while, but it was late in the world of business. Definitely hurting them here. How many Barnes & Noble bookstores are going to close is kind of unknown. We'll have to wait and see how they do with that. But there you go. There are some of the biggest ones that are closing. Does it surprise you at all that so many grocery stores are going to be closing locations? What about CVS closing 900 locations, a lot of them in 2022 and the years to follow? Macys kind of in an interesting position right now. Probably maybe not the most surprising, along with Barnes & Noble in this list. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. I'll love to hear from you. And if you can, help us out, help us grow. Hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up. It really does help us because it lets YouTube know you enjoy what we do here. Thanks for your support. I really appreciate it. Check back here for another video real soon.